that one of them?
Yes. What was... Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, Fuzzy wasn't really Fuzzy Wuzzy.
I think we're live.
Hi!
Hi, everyone. Hectic Eric.
Grinch Bob Morgan and Penelope, maybe.
Maybe Pen. And this is episode 2 of the Damascust Steel podcast.
Hi.
2 episodes. We're doing
2 episodes.
It's almost like a season, no?
We need a few more.
11 more to go before we get a full season?
We need at least 10 episodes.
Well, let's get into episode 2.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Have a lot to cover. Lots of things going on in the world, in gaming, in technology. I mean, there's a whole world outside the door.
I wanted to show off my Switch.
Morgan got a Switch for Christmas. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Santa gave me this, and I put a sticker on it, and I put stickers on the back because I like cats.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. You may see Grunge Bob Morgan streaming some more Switch games later.
Not later, but like later in the month maybe, because we may or may not have just gotten a capture card.
That'll be fun to play with.
Mm-hmm.
But diving right in, I mean, the topic on everyone's mind, not that this is a political podcast, but I could not even go on Facebook last night or this morning.
I try not to.
Start off 2021 with a bang here. Some riots going on in the Capitol. It seems like that's finally simmered down. Now, my only thought on it, and I've mentioned this earlier, I do not condone what was done, what was happening. But, I mean, I just like the fact that, you know, government officials kind of put the fear of God in them. That was just a couple of 100 Trump supporters. Now, imagine if all of us
Well, you want to know something?
rose up.
Back in the day, like in the early 1800s, like this White House is the second White House. The first one got burned in a fire, I believe. If you know the actual story, please let us know, but it's the second White House. So yeah, it's happened before. I know about the second White House.
I knew about WhiteHouse.com.
I learned that in history from Mr. Rocha.
Ah, very
If you're watching this, hi. I actually learned some things from you. And Penben's behind you, looking out the window.
I mean, the one thing that annoys me is these are the same people that a week ago were bitching that they only gave us $600.
Okay, these are people. A lot of the time, people are gonna complain. No matter what.
I've just always been a strong believer that a government should be afraid of its people. People shouldn't be afraid of its government.
Yes.
We'll end it on that.
The government should work for the people.
In gaming news, you ever heard of Tenchu, Morgan?
Of what?
Not Tenchi Muyo, but Tenchu.
No.
So if you remember back in the mid '90s,
yeah,
there was a lot of commercials and marketing campaign.
You can see Pen more.
The video game was called Tenchu Stealth Assassins, and you were basically a ninja. They were pretty fucking hard.
My brother did not play many non-American games.
Hey, Pen. I don't know why ninja games are always freaking hard. Like Ninja Gaiden, known for being so hard.
Back then, I played a racing car game, but that was it. And I just knew Mario Kart and whatever my brother played, which was a lot of Resident Evil and Madden.
So Tenchu was like, I'm trying to think of what I can compare. I guess Assassin's Creed-ish before Assassin's Creed.
Was it a story game or a platform? It
was a story game. You scaled walls and you had a little grappling hook, and it was all about stealth. You had to be stealthy.
It was not open platform, right? Open world.
Yeah, it wasn't open world. There wasn't really many open world games.
Speaking of open world, how are you doing in Assassin's Creed? I know that we streamed some the other night. But
the Yule Festival just ended, from what I understand. But I'm thoroughly enjoying my trek through Valhalla.
Yeah, that's because the Yule season just ended.
I think I'm on halfway to the platinum there.
About halfway.
Halfish. You know, I still don't know what the story is. I've got my own speculation as to what the story could be. No spoilers, please.
We all do. I don't think that it's been out long enough for there to be spoilers. We got Devil May Cry 5. So on Hard Mode Mondays, we're going through the Devil May Cry series one at a time on normal mode, even though it's...
Yeah, if you want to see me cursing profusely and repeatedly, please
and yelling,
check
a
out
lot of yelling. And maybe some cats.
But going back to what I was saying, Tenchu
Sorry.
was a ninja stealth game series. Anyway, there's been a new one in a while. There was like 2 for the original PlayStation, maybe
Mm-hmm.
1 for PS2. Sony recently reacquired that IP, so we might see some Tenchu games in the future.
Ooh,
pretty-
we like Sony because we have a
pretty
PlayStation
exciting.
5.
And speaking of old 90s IPs reacquired, you know what I'd love to see? Another Siphon Filter. I want to see... No? Remember that?
No.
So...
Okay, I was not as big as a gamer as you were.
I don't even remember the game specifically. I remember the commercials and the advertising. So Tenchu was cool. Siphon Filter was a guy walking around with a briefcase, and he'd look through his eye like this, and it would be like the scope of a rifle, and you'd see the game. It was kind of cool. That was the marketing for that.
What, 90s version?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 90s, I didn't game.
Siphon Filter was like Metal Gear Solid, almost, kind of.
I like Metal Gear Solid. I played through those, so maybe in the future, if we can find them, I can stream them. Yeah, I kind of have something to say.
Like that.
She...
I would love to continue playing Cyberpunk as well, but I put my copy on the
Patches.
shelf until the next patch.
Hopefully the next patch will solve things.
I hope we'll solve things retroactively, because reverting back to your save is a bullshit answer. It's not an answer at all. I'm not happy about it. But apparently neither is anybody else, because the Steam player base dropped by almost 80% since release a month ago. Now, some people are saying that drop is because it's a single-player game and people have beat it, but the game's
People are
pretty
making
huge.
excuses for it.
Right. I feel like it's due in large part to the bugs. And it's kind of sad because I really enjoyed it.
This is a pen butt.
That is Penbutt. Hey,
Say
Penbutt.
hi. Sit. Okay.
Oh, she's just chilling.
She's a good girl.
World of Comic Books. Yesterday was Comic Book Wednesday.
Yeah.
Picked up my
We
last...
will eventually be taking pictures and selling more comic books. Eric does that sometimes.
Check out our Instagram and eBay store for more. The Death Metal storyline's coming to an end. Last
Aw.
issue came yesterday. I guess I have to actually finish up reading
Sad
it.
bread.
DC's come out with Future State.
Mm-hmm.
That Morgan picked up Harley Quinn in that issue 1 of that one.
Things to help from this one.
A whole bunch of new characters. We're not sure if it's gonna work out or not.
So in the Harley Quinn comic book, no spoilers, but Jonathan Quinn makes an appearance. Scarecrow.
Very cool.
He was played by Jillian Murphy, and he
That
was
was
played
Cillian
by
Murphy, not Julian Murphy.
what? However he pronounces his name.
It starts with a C, not
Yeah.
a J.
No, like C, like the. It's not a hard C, but you know how C sometimes make the CH sound, like in Italian.
Chillian. I thought you said Jillian.
No, CH.
In Marvel Comics, the Null storyline's winding down.
I believe that Null is the new Venom. Basically, I know it's the same storyline, but it's like the nullified things.
Yeah, nullified things. He's not the new Venom though.
No,
He's a
no,
villain.
no. He's a villain, whereas Venom was just kind of a rogue type
Yeah.
of thing.
He was like an
He could be
anti-hero.
good. He could be bad. He was just doing his own thing.
He was definitely a popular anti-hero.
But so was Deadpool.
Rumor is Null's gonna come around. I don't think they're gonna mention him in the new Venom movie or the new Thor movie, but yeah, they could.
You mean the
They
Carnage
might.
movie with Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson does not make a good redhead, to be honest.
See, people have thought that they're
Sorry.
gonna mention Null in the new Venom movie, but Carnage is enough of a villain that like you don't need to introduce anyone else. He needs his own movie by
It's
himself.
not like the old Batman movies where there are two villains, Penguin and Catwoman, Two-Face and Riddler.
Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey.
ugh.
That's a dude. That
I
duo.
like that pairing. And Mr. Freeze
Who-
and Uma Thurman.
I've read something somewhere that in Batman Forever, Tommy Lee Jones basically hated working with Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Oh, Jim Carrey's like a really method actor. So
Like-
he was when he first read the script and he got the part, he was Edward Nygma.
And I'm pretty sure I read somewhere
Oh,
that like,
even after he left and went home, he has to have therapy to take him out of those things.
Tommy Lee Jones like couldn't stand him.
I feel like no.
I think he
Jim
wanted to go to
Carrey
dinner
is
with
from-
him one time. Like Jim Carrey wanted to bring him to dinner, and he was just like, no.
Okay, Tommy Lee Jones is from the South. I cannot remember where he's from, but he's from the South. And Jim Carrey's from Canada. They have the same ideals, yet different ones, because we know some Canadians. And I believe that my father's family's from the South. I don't know. We don't know.
Oh. Continuing with
We just appeared one day.
kind of comic book ish. So Star Wars, their new event started up, High Republic, which I thought was going to be the next movie, but apparently is just the next arc of storylines.
In a comic book?
It's
no, it's all like how there was the 3 trilogies, like the storyline. Never mind.
So the High Republic takes place before Episode 1, before Anakin, before all that stuff. That's when the Jedi Council was in charge. There were tons of Jedis.
Mace Windu.
I find it kind of boring. It's probably the most boring part of
But it has Samuel L. Jackson
Star Wars
in
history
it.
to me. No, I'm not even talking about Samuel Jackson. I'm talking about the High Republic.
Yeah, he was part of it, wasn't he? He was Mace Windu.
If we're going back as many years as I believe, Mace Windu wasn't even around yet.
Oh damn.
But
back in the day, buffet.
So again, back in the 90s. Apparently, I'm stuck in the 90s tonight. There was you ever heard Shadows of the Empire?
Yes, and Shadows of War or whatever. I know that you played.
No. That was Lord of the Rings.
Okay, never mind.
Shadows of the Empire was another thing like the High Republic. They called it a multimedia blitz. There were toys, there were comic books, there was a regular book.
There was probably a pinball game after them too.
There was a video game. It was all telling a story.
Yeah, but once we saw a Lord of the Rings pinball game at a bar in Boston.
We did.
We did.
Totally unrelated, but
Sorry. Hey.
So
I cannot focus.
They did the same thing with Shadows of the Empire, and they call it a media blitz. They didn't actually make a movie, but Shadows of the Empire, the book, told the story between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Have you read this book?
I did read the book back when I was a kid. It was a really good book.
Do you have this book?
I don't have it anymore. I'd love to see Disney do it, but I don't think they can.
Would you rather see a series or a movie trilogy based off of it?
Of Shadows of the Empire?
Yes.
It wasn't...
Either... I don't mean like Mando, Boba Fett series. I mean like CGI, like what's it called? With Ahsoka and...
I don't really watch the CGI stuff, so if they did it... I appreciate Shadows of the Empire, so I might watch it if they did something.
I appreciate CGI because I was an art student. I was taught how to do that stuff, kind of. The beginning into that.
But I remember the toys. I had all the figures, and one of the figures was Princess Leia as the bounty hunter from Return of the Jedi. She had a thermal detonator in her hand. Awesome. Her helmet came off, and you could see her face. So they're kind of doing the same thing now with the High Republic. It's going to be comics, books, maybe a game. It'll be interesting. But that's kind of how they're telling the story.
I like the last Star Wars game too, though, with Cameron Monaghan in it.
That was a good game.
He's the main kid, kid from Shameless.
I also read someone else.
He made a good Joker.
Mentioning though, like how many times are they gonna bring up a Jedi that escaped Order 66?